Good day, Ruskin Endurers. Hope you're alright, 'cause it's time for part 2 of this journey to a big grin. Yes, the road to the big grin may take quite a long time, and quite literally you're going to find out about that. But we need to give you an update. We need to talk about what's happened in the past, 6 or so weeks? Because I actually recorded that, early April? Well, it's now mid-May. So let's explain my situation. Let's talk about what's happened. So if I could just quickly navigate over to here and show you the account. You may notice we have quite a lot of buy orders. You also may notice I've spent some money. So, let's talk about that. I've been using this brand new account to do buy orders, low ball buy orders. Typically every single week, if you see me doing my abnormal buy orders for every brand new skin and whatnot, you'd see that I do 2 buy orders. One low ball price and then one that's a slightly higher price. Usually it works out quite nicely. By default, I'm always intending to pick up the skins for a cheaper price and hopefully at some point flip them for a better price. So, as you can see, I only have like 3 weeks worth of Rust stores because that's all I had available. With the money you have, in theory, you can only do 10 times the amount of money that you have. That is the amount that you can do buy orders of. So if you can remember, my account had, £83, just over $100. So in theory, I could only do about £830 worth of buy orders, around just over $1,000 worth of buy orders because it's times 10. Well, if you can see here, I currently have 549. If you go back over to here, I have 35. What's 10 times 35? 350. Oh, I can't do any more buy orders. So I've just kind of been stuck here for a while. I'm in a bit of an awkward spot, but I have picked up some skins for cheaper prices. But yes, I only managed to do about 3 weeks worth of buy orders. But I have done some pretty interesting ones, such as you may notice, the Rustage egg and the horse costume. I probably shouldn't have done this. There's a problem that I have to address, and we'll point it out to you right now. I should have only have done proper, real low quantities with my buy orders here. I was doing 30, but even then, I probably should have only requested 20. If I wanted to really kind of expand a whole bunch of potential pickups for super cheap, I should have probably at best done 20. So if you're brand new to this as well, if you just want to get started with $100, do not request more than 20 quantity for buy orders and whatnot. Just accept a reasonable amount in which that you are capable of still being able to sell. But also, just kind of respect that the amount of money you have isn't that much. And I'm learning that as well. Because I got restricted very quickly, I couldn't do any more buy orders, and all I can do now is just basically wait. However, that was always likely going to happen. So I have picked up some skins here and there. I didn't request 28 of those Popstar Thompsons. I've bought 2. I didn't request let's see here, 29 Neon Easter Garage doors. I've bought 1. But what I should have done is I should have only put 20 or maybe 15 quantity or something like that. Because in some of these instances, I kind of don't think I don't know if I'm even going to be able to buy any of these, or if it's even possible to a point. So I'll talk more about that in a bit, but I should show you now my history. So because I have the Steam Inventory Helper extension, I can actually do this, and I can quite literally show you pretty much everything that's happened over the course of the 6 weeks. And I'm actually happy with all the purchases I've made. I've got no issue with them, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But as you can see, from the start, sold those 2 Counter-Strike things, and now you can see basically every single purchase that's happened. You may notice that I bought some Senor Tomato doors. I actually removed that buy order, because what happened was the price I had them at ended up being the highest buy order. And I honestly thought there could have been some people who are going to dump this. And I don't want to get dumped on. I don't want to be stuck with a skin that's struggling with its value, and then I have to wait an even longer time for it to hopefully ever go up in price. That is something you're very likely going to have to do yourself. So, Senor Tomato door, in my currency, if we could look at that, because I was buying these for 55 pennies, my currency, yeah, it was getting really close. Right now, I could probably sell these now, try and sell them, and I could get some profit. But I don't want to sell right now. It's my choice, and I'll explain my choice in a bit. But initially, we didn't have these 2 buy orders here. I was the only person at this price. I had a lot, and if someone bought a bunch of them and they're very unhappy with themselves, they very likely could have dumped on me. I'd then end up with no money left. So you do have to keep an eye. You do have to monitor your buy orders. Another buy order I had was the Rooster Poncho. So I bought this for a fairly cheap price of 55 pennies as well. And you may notice, well, they're all below that now, aren't they? In my currency. With the price that we have here, yeah, I mean, I could try and sell it now, maybe get some profit. But there's only 26 of these. And if you've seen me talk about the deer skull mask, which is here, the rooster mask, I can't help but assume this might have a fun future ahead of it, based on the fact that we just don't get that many deer skull masks being added to the game. That didn't sell too ridiculously. I really do feel like that might have a pretty fun, interesting future, especially during this upcoming summer. I could see that probably trending upwards quite nicely, because some people want to run around dressed up as a gigantic cock, rooster. So, yes, I could see that working out quite nicely, but that's going to take time, okay? Now, I actually removed my barter for that as well, because, again, whilst I was buying them up to 78 pennies my currency, which was just over $1, well, you could see it's getting pretty close. I got worried about potential dumping, so I had to remove it. I do own a good decent amount of them, so let's go ahead and take a look at the actual inventory. So if you can remember, I got the gun box for absolutely free. Facepunch gifted me a special drop. If you aren't fully well aware, every 1 or 2 months, like a lot of people will get like a random drop such as that. I believe you can get up to the tempered AK. I think that's the best thing you can get. But you can get loot boxes such as the high quality crate, the high quality bag, and of course a weapon barrel. The best I've ever got is the high quality bag. And I quickly sold it and I was happy. So anyway, you can see I have a nice assortment of these rooster masks, a decent amount of these ponchos. I even managed to pick up these tools for a very, very cheap price. And I'm very happy with this because they're doing a very good job of retaining their value at the moment. But I bought them for a super cheap price. So that's a thing there. I could probably instantly flip it. And I'll probably make about $1.50 profit there. But why am I not selling? What gives? Hedge, you have the opportunity to potentially make some sales right now, make some sweet, delicious profit. Well, if I could quickly navigate over to here, I need to talk about what is likely going to happen over the course of maybe the next month or so. Basically, we of course have recently had this jungle update come out, haven't we? Yep. I am aware that the player count hasn't really jumped up that much. What gives? Well, it's most likely due to the fact that the kids are still in school. That's basically it. If you could see the jump from May 2024, the average player count for that month, compare it to June, oh, look at that, there's an extra 15,000, well, it's kids out of school. Typically, when there's a lot more people playing the game, you would assume prices will improve, because there's a lot more demand for skins, prices should improve quite nicely, peak player counts grow up quite nicely as well. So, yeah, I'm in the position of, I don't want to sell now, because I'm very much convinced that the best peak time to sell should probably be around July and August. I've already talked about this somewhat recently with certain green skins, and we'll get onto that in a second. But yeah, if you're thinking right now, oh, should I sell now? The profit's good. No, you probably should maybe wait until at least next month, at the least. I know prices are improving for a lot of rust skins because we just went through the Easter dip. Prices did drop off pretty bad around like March and April, but the peaks, the new potential high points for prices very likely happen around July and August. I've seen this in the past. I've already talked about this with some green clothing and armor. So, okay, take that into consideration. You have to be patient, right? I can't do anything with this account at the moment. It's annoying, but I am fully well aware and experienced with this in that if I do want to make some good sweet flips and whatnot, I'm going to have to just wait a while. And I have waited. So this is one of the problems I realised there's going to be, that some people have an issue with this video. I can't really do much, but you very likely can't do much as well at some point. This is normal. Don't be upset with yourself. Now, I will sit here and say, some things I have bought, such as the Divine Bloom AK-47, I was buying them for 60 pennies my currency. Someone was buying these out, and, well, coincidentally, it's a green AK-47. It's gone back down again, but someone was making moves. You could see that, like, peak there. But, well, were they scouting? Were they testing the waters to see if they could potentially manipulate something? Sometimes it's not too bad of an idea to just sit and wait on the things that you currently have, because if I know I could sell it for a better price, that's also good. But I think some people are kind of looking at these Easter skins, which didn't sell that much, and I think some of them might get manipulated. It's happened many times in the past with various skins. And the prices that I've been buying these for, I should also clarify, 60 pennies right now. If I could just look over to here to the right, there's my barter, 25. And if I could just quickly turn this into USD, I am buying these for 80 cents as of now. And this is where we need to go ahead and take a look at metal. I was walking into this fully expecting that I'd mostly be picking up super cheap weapons. Guess what? You can turn it into metal. Pending, and there's a rule to this, you can only convert your skins into craftable material if it sells for less than $1 on the Steam market. And in many instances with these weapon skins, it doesn't always, you don't normally always see them below $1, right? This is a measure to help prevent people from like accidentally converting their $200 AK skin into metal, which would be very, very dumb. Happened quite a lot back in early 2021. Anyway, so with the price that you see here, oh, hang on a minute, metal, I could sell directly right now, get 98 cents, and I'm buying this for 80 cents, which you can see right here. Yeah, I could just convert my weapons right now, and I could just sell them right now. I could do that. I could get a little bit of profit, just penny profits. But again, I have to question, is it a good time to consider selling now? I could look at the sales history. I could see that actually, as of now, the price that we saw peaking at back in, February time, that is just over $1. And right now, we're getting very, very close to that. I think I actually might consider doing it. It's an option. But then again, I could still wait it out at least another month. At least another month or so. I think this is going to remain stable at this point. Can't complain. And of course, when there's a lot more people playing, a lot more people are going to want to open weapon barrels. And guess what? Guess what you need to be able to make those? You guessed it. Metal. So, all right. Patience can be a virtue. Wait a while and see how it is. But just remember, the bad times are usually February to April time. I refer to that as the Easter dip. And then September, October, November, that is the autumn fall seasonal dip. Whereas during the summer, and of course like December, January time, those are great times to sell. Once you understand that, you'll understand that that basically happens every single year. It's a routine thing. We go up, down, up, down, up. Yeah, that's it. Usually coincides with school as well. When kids are out of school, money good. And when they're back in school, so yeah. That's why, again, with the player count, and of course wait until June or July and whatnot, summer vacation. Ta-da! It's as simple as that. So yes, being a bit patient can be helpful, but sometimes you'll notice certain things are getting bought out, manipulated, and you just got to make a move for that. And I luckily managed to sell at least 2 Divine Blooms for $5 each. So yeah, I have actually made 2 sales. Very nice, very cool. So again, I've just got to wait. Like, this is me investing. Ta-da! So, yeah, you don't have to stare at this all day long. Just every day, just take a quick peek, look at some of the skins if you can, in regards to the buy orders you have, and just double check and make sure nothing's getting too close to your buy orders. If they're really close and it looks like the skin isn't in demand, remove the buy order. Use your better judgment. Yeah. Right then, so that's cool. Got that all established, got that like all into your heads. So now you also have attained some information, and you might want to approach things from here and now in a special, interesting way, aka hold off with selling at the moment. But now if I could just quickly hop over to here, I want to talk about some other things, because I have missed out on some opportunities. As I've stated, we had the jungle update. And if you are fully well aware, we actually found out about that actually, officially coming out all the way back in like the second week of April. Yeah. And I already knew about this, but the actual official announcement that was going to come out for May 1st, that was there on Twitter. Everybody was going wild, and they said, hey, you can go on Orcs 3 staging branch and you can go test things out. And I did. So I hopped in. I started like testing out the brand new jungle building skin and whatnot. People were suggesting to me what garage doors we could put on that and whatnot. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't consider actually buying the garage doors that matched up very nicely with jungle building skin. I didn't consider maybe buying a few more green camouflage skins, you know, clothing and armor. That'll probably do very, 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 very nicely in the jungle biome. Cool. Who would have guessed that that potentially would be something that would work out very nicely? I was literally doing videos showcasing it, but I never got it in my head to go onto my brand new account and go make some moves, make some purchases. There is the issue of I have a lot of accounts. You should probably be well aware of that. I already own like a whole bunch of like Reptile Hunter, some other green clothing, armor, and weapons. So by default, I thought, I've already got stuff. But I should have gone on this account. I should have bought some stuff because I would have been able to just straight buy some things. I could have made some wonderful flips. So if I was to just quickly go onto the Steam market here, the Rust Steam market, if I could show you, I don't know, what was a very interesting skin that like bounced up in price. Reptile Hunter, let's go take a look at you because I just showed that off a second ago. Like, yeah, the hoodie and pants, that's a great shout. So if I could just go to here, the hoodie, this went from like $6 and it went all the way up to about 20 at one point. Look at the spike it had. Oh my. So just to clarify, oh no, is that like $4.50? So as of like April 10, about $4.50, getting close to $5, whoosh, went all the way up to 20. And of course, as time went on, it kind of calmed down, kind of relaxed a fair bit. But that could have been me. That could have been me. Then again, 7-day cooldown after you make a purchase. But okay, 1 week later, that could have still been me. I could have still made like some very good profit, but I didn't get it in my head to make a move. So yeah, there's going to be many instances and opportunities like that potentially for you in the future. You've got to be aware of like new updates and whatnot and know what's going to work and whatnot. But yeah, I screwed up. I had the knowledge that I could have made some pretty sweet profit with that and whatnot, but I didn't do it. So as much as I'd like to sit here and say some nice positive things, I should point out the stupid things I didn't do, such as making moves to that. And of course, if I go take a look at those garage doors that we just saw, so what are they called again? One of them's called Ruin Garage Door, which you can see over here. And I could have bought these weapons as well, just saying. But yeah, this was selling for like $1 for a fairly long time. And yeah, you can see that just go. And you had them in front of you, you fool, Hedge. Oh, why didn't you jump in and buy some on the account? That was selling for $1, literally a day before we had the announcement of the update. And it goes all the way up to about $5 at one point. Aftermath Garage Doors, the other one, I just remembered. I think that one's still doing a very good job of retaining its price. Yeah, it's still basically $4.50, $5. Yeah, Hedge could have bought it. Hedge could have bought it for a cheaper price. It was literally there. It was dipping before all of this was going down. It was just under $2. So, again, it was garage doors. It was some sheepman doors. It was green weapons, green clothing and armor. So many options. Various different prices, various different spikes in price and whatnot, and I didn't make a move on this account, so dumb. Should have done something there, and yeah, that's an opportunity I missed out on. So you don't have to only do buy orders. It's a very lax way of doing things, and not that stressful. It's very easy to just stick with things like that. But when there's things like that going on, the quick flips were there. Could have bought something cheap. Flipped it literally a week later and probably would have made some sweet, delicious dollars instead of waiting for penny profits like this. Yeah. So you can go about things in a quick way, or you can go about things in a nice, slow, passive way. The choice is up to you. It looks like the majority of this playlist will be slow and steady. Right then, so let's hop into here. Let's go to my inventory. And let's just show, yeah, that happens, don't worry. So that gives you a warning. Remember, it will always warn you about crafting, but it does have that safety measure. So take, for example, if I take a look at this hair trigger python, yeah, it will not present to me the option to craft it, because right now the cheapest listing is just over $1. But if I could go to that large box, so I got this for absolutely free, and plenty of people get this gun box for absolutely free, don't they? It's a random free drop that we get every 1 to 2 months. That sells for 20 cents in the Steam market because of that, because there's so many of them. And yeah, I can craft it into cloth if I want to. I don't want to, though, because cloth sells for like 10 cents now, something like that. I'm good. I don't need that. But you never know. Like I said, if these weapons, they get cheap, I do have the option, I'm just saying. Or then again, I could try and sell the weapons on the Steam market and try and get a little bit more. But the option to turn into metal is always potentially a nice one. And you know what you could do, right? You know what you could do? You could maybe like grab one of these skins here. If it doesn't even look like it's selling, right, going to sell above $1, you could just grab one yourself, list it on the Steam market at 99 cents, and then once that's like gone through, then you could go in the inventory real quickly. Then you could convert all your weapons into well, metal and whatnot. It's an option. But yeah, you got to check like the barders and whatnot. Like over to here, I could look at this Python one more time. So let's go ahead and do just that. And I could see it from here. These are all my buy orders. Where's that Python? Did I remove the barder from that Python? I did, because I was just buying too many. So I'll just go to here instead then, click that, and I can confirm to you right now that, no, there is no barter like above $1. So I could list that right now at 99 cents, and then I would actually have the ability to go ahead and then, well, as I said, do just that. So I hope this video is still nice and insightful and helpful for all of you and whatnot. But I'm still waiting. This is going to be a slow process. Don't assume Hedge was going to just instantly flip everything and then end up with like $500 just like that. But if I could probably get a nice $50 profit, I'd be all right with that. But yeah, I'm not using third-party sites, am I? I'm going hard mode with this. But if you ever thought, how on earth does he function? Like, how on earth does he manage to deal with all of this with all these other accounts? Well, with all my other accounts, I have other accounts, and they're always doing other bars and whatnot. And whenever something picks something up for like super cheap, so if I go to here, for example, here's my account. It doesn't have that much money anymore because it's already got all of its bars put down. But it's constantly buying things for a cheaper price. There's also some Counter-Strike things here. So I am confident everything that you see there I bought for a cheaper price, and I can put it on the Steam market right now and sell it, well, for a better price. So here's the thing. If this can't really like do that much anymore, I could just grab everything I bought off here and then trade it over to another account. So one particular instance, and it's a Counter-Strike thing, I bought this recently for about, I must have bought it for about $100. Well, guess what? On the Steam market now it sells for about $150. And guess what I can do right now? I could go trade that over to another account, and it will sell, and all those funds go on that account, and well, there you go. Don't have to worry about funds. But I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that with this account. This is completely isolated all by itself. All right. So multiple accounts can prove to be very helpful. In this particular instance, if I had a second account, I could actually trade over all these skins, sell them, and I could go do my barders all over again. Yeah. Or rather, new barders. New barders for new skins. So that's a helpful thing for you to consider, right? Right. So yeah, that is essentially everything. Onward to part 3, I guess. But yeah, if you want to learn about like the anticipation of prices and whatnot, like I knew what was going on, I just didn't make a move. I have this video here. This is all just before like the actual release of the Jungle Update. And of course, with the actual release of the Jungle Update, I've been doing some lovely showcasings of green clothing and armor, both primitive and core pieces being tier 3, tier 2, hoodie and pants, and even jackets. Showing it all off, expensive and cheap. It's all very effective, it's all very nice. And soon there'll also be a green weapon video out. Well, that'll actually literally be tomorrow as of this recording. As I said, I'm recording this on the May 16, so I'm just saying. But yeah, that's it. That is a wrap. So that's part 2 done. Let's now look forward to part 3. Hopefully, by then, I'd have sold everything and I could do barders again. And yeah, it's going to probably be a bit of a wait. So feel free to offer your own like thoughts and opinions based on what you're up to and what you're doing. But yeah, sorry if it's a slow process, but it usually is a perfectly fine, steady pace. And it usually always leads to some success. That's the point in this playlist, proving it. So have a good day.